Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive, brought to you by the Moore's Global Finance Podcast team. I'm John,
And I'm Tiffany.
and today we're diving into a topic that's on a lot of people's minds right now.
Yeah.
Investing in gold and other precious metals through platforms like OneGold and BullionVault.
Yeah, it's a pretty hot topic, especially with how things have been in the market.
You know, it's funny, whenever things start to feel a bit shaky, people's minds immediately go to gold.
It's like that age-old instinct.
It's like almost like holding a piece of history in your hand, you know?
Exactly. It's that tangible security that's really appealing.
But with so many options popping up, like OneGold and BullionVault, how do we know which platform is the right fit?
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Exactly.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of comparing these two platforms, let's take a step back and talk about why precious metals are considered a safe haven, especially during times of market volatility.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit. What makes these metals, especially gold, so special?
Well, gold has been seen as a store of value for centuries.
Yeah.
It's a finite resource, and its value tends to remain relatively stable even when other investments are,
Going up and down like a roller coaster.
Exactly. It's like a financial anchor in a storm.
So when things get rocky, people turn to gold because they know it's going to hold its value.
Precisely.
Okay, that makes sense.
And platforms like OneGold and BullionVault make it easier than ever to invest in these assets without having to, store them yourself, worry about security.
Right, because let's face it, not everyone has a vault in their basement.
Exactly.
So let's jump into OneGold first.
Okay.
They call themselves a digital gateway to precious metals. But what does that actually mean for someone who wants to invest?
It essentially means you can buy, sell, and hold gold, silver, and platinum without having to physically store it or, worry about keeping it safe.
So it's like having a virtual vault for your precious metals.
Exactly. And what's really appealing about OneGold is its foundation. It's a partnership between APMEX, which is one of the largest online retailers of precious metals.
Oh, wow.
And Sprott, a global leader in precious metal investments.
Okay, so you've got some serious players backing this up.
Exactly. It really brings that trust factor.
Yeah, especially for someone who's new to investing in precious metals, it definitely makes you feel more comfortable.
Right.
But, at the end of the day, what about the security of my investment?
Sure.
Is my digital gold actually safe?
That's a great question. And of course, security is a top priority for OneGold.
Yeah.
They work with really reputable firms like Loomis and the Royal Canadian Mint to make sure that the physical assets are stored securely.
Oh, wow. So even though I'm investing digitally, there's actual gold backing it up somewhere.
Absolutely. You own the underlying asset.
That's pretty reassuring to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so OneGold seems pretty solid so far, but let's shift gears a bit and talk about BullionVault.
Right.
They've been around for a while, since 2005.
Yeah.
They've got a reputation for being a major player in the market. What sets them apart from OneGold?
Well, one of the big things with BullionVault is their emphasis on allocated storage.
Okay, and what exactly does that mean?
So when you buy gold through BullionVault, it's actually physically set aside in a vault specifically for you.
So it's not just a digital, like, IOU for gold, it's my gold.
Exactly. You have full ownership of those specific bars or coins.
Wow.
They even give you the bar numbers and assay information so you can actually track your holdings.
That's incredible. That level of transparency is pretty impressive.
It is, right.
But with them being such a big player in the market, aren't they subject to a lot of financial regulations?
It's interesting because they're dealing with the physical asset rather than just a paper representation of it.
Yeah.
They're not subject to the same regulations as, say, a traditional financial institution.
That's a fascinating distinction. So it's like they're operating in a slightly different world.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, so we've got OneGold with its digital gateway and BullionVault with their allocated storage.
Right.
Both seem like secure ways to get into precious metals, but with their own unique approaches. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty and compare some of the key factors that might sway your decision.
Sounds good.
Why don't we start with the products each platform offers?
All right, let's dive into that.
So, on OneGold, you can invest in. On OneGold, you can invest in gold, silver, and platinum, a pretty solid selection of the most popular precious metals.
Yeah, and BullionVault offers those three as well.
Okay.
Plus, they also have palladium.
Oh, interesting. Palladium. That seems to be gaining some traction as an investment metal.
It is.
I'm also curious about, retirement planning options. Does either platform cater to that?
That's a good question, and this is where OneGold stands out.
Okay.
They actually offer IRA options.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so you can actually incorporate precious metals into your retirement portfolio.
That could be a real game changer for some investors or looking to diversify their retirement holdings.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what metals they offer, but how do these platforms actually work? Is it like a super complicated process to buy and sell?
Not at all.
Right.
Both OneGold and BullionVault have really made it user-friendly. Think of it like online shopping,
Okay.
but for assets that actually hold their value.
I like that online shopping for gold. It doesn't get much better than that.
Right.
So I can browse, select what I want, make a purchase, all online.
Exactly. You can track your portfolio, set price alerts, even automate your investments.
Oh, wow, that's pretty convenient.
It is. They've really tried to make it accessible.
Speaking of convenient features, I've heard both platforms offer some pretty unique services, things that might sway someone's decision. What are some of those?
Well, OneGold has a couple of interesting ones.
Okay.
They have this thing called the Bullion Card.
Okay, what's that?
It allows you to earn gold back on everyday purchases.
Wait, so it's like a rewards program, but instead of points, I'm getting gold.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. A way to passively build up your gold holdings without having to make big investments.
Right.
I like that.
They also have an auto invest program.
Okay.
So you can set up recurring purchases, on a schedule that works for you.
Oh, so like dollar cost averaging into precious metals.
Exactly.
That's smart.
And I know a lot of people like the fact that with OneGold, you have the option to redeem your digital holdings for physical metal through APMEX.
Oh, wow. So if you want to actually hold your gold in your hand, you can?
You can.
That's a really cool feature.
Now, with BullionVault,
Yeah.
they have a regular gold investment plan,
Okay.
which is similar to that auto invest, but it's specifically for gold.
Got it.
So if you're really looking to just consistently build your gold holdings over time,
Makes sense.
and then they also have a live order board.
What is that?
So you can see the real-time trading activity.
Oh, wow.
So you can potentially, snag a good deal if you're into that more active trading.
So it adds a little bit of excitement, a little bit of a gamble.
It does. It does.
Very cool.
And for people who are looking for geographic diversification,
Yeah.
BullionVault actually allows you to choose from vault locations around the world.
Oh, wow. So I can spread my holdings out, add another layer of security.
Exactly.
That's a great point. Security. I mean, that's a major concern when we're talking about valuable assets,
Yes.
precious metals.
Absolutely.
What kind of safeguards do these platforms have in place?
Both OneGold and BullionVault take security very seriously.
Okay, that's good to hear.
They use a combination of physical security measures and insurance to protect your investments.
So it's like a multi-layered approach to safeguarding my precious metals.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Now let's talk fees because, at the end of the day, that's going to impact our returns.
Of course.
What are we looking at with OneGold and BullionVault?
So with OneGold, they operate with a consistent premium on their metals,
Okay,
which is built into the price you see.
got it. And BullionVault?
BullionVault's fee structure is based on transaction size.
Okay, so the more I invest, the lower the fees.
Exactly. So for larger investors, BullionVault might be more cost-effective.
So there's a bit of a trade-off there. OneGold's got the simple, consistent fee structure, while BullionVault rewards the bigger players.
Right.
Okay, now what about funding my account? How does that work?
Both platforms offer a variety of methods.
Correct.
Bank transfers, credit cards, even debit cards in some cases.
But always double check for those pesky little fees associated with each method, right?
Always. Always read the fine print.
Don't want any surprises.
Exactly.
So it seems like both OneGold and BullionVault have really simplified the process of buying and selling precious metals,
They have.
making it accessible to, a wider range of investors.
Absolutely.
And what about feedback? What are people saying about these platforms?
Both of them consistently get really positive reviews.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, people praise their ease of use, the security, the customer support.
Sounds like you can't really go wrong with either option.
It's true, but of course, each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
So to help you really weigh the pros and cons, let's dig a little deeper into what makes each one unique.
Yeah, let's do. I'm ready to uncover what sets them apart beyond the basics. So what are some of the standout advantages of investing with OneGold?
One of the big things is peace of mind.
Okay.
Knowing your investment is protected.
Yeah.
They have insurance to cover your holdings. You can sleep soundly at night.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Plus, their mobile app
Yeah.
makes managing your precious metals super convenient.
Oh, wow.
You can buy, sell, track your portfolio
All from my phone?
from anywhere, anytime.
That's a huge plus these days. Everyone's on the go.
It is.
And of course, the fact that it's backed by APMEX,
Yes.
that's a well-established name in the industry.
Definitely adds a layer of confidence.
It does. Are there any downsides to OneGold?
Well, I think for some investors,
Yeah.
there might be a slight learning curve with all the features OneGold offers.
That's a pretty robust platform.
It is.
Yeah.
It might take a little time to familiarize yourself with everything.
Makes sense.
And if you're thinking about using OneGold for your retirement account,
Yeah.
it can be a bit more involved
Okay.
because it requires a third-party custodian.
So a little extra legwork for retirement planning?
Right.
Gotcha. Okay, so OneGold, user-friendly, but maybe some extra steps for retirement.
Yeah.
Now, what about BullionVault? What are their standout features?
Well, one of the biggest things for BullionVault is simplicity.
Okay.
Their platform is incredibly straightforward,
Yeah.
even for someone who's brand new to precious metal investing.
Easy to navigate, that's always a plus.
It is.
And you mentioned earlier, their fees are really competitive, especially for larger investments.
Right. So, for example,
Give me an example.
let's say you're investing $50,000 in gold.
Okay.
With BullionVault's tiered fee structure,
Mm-hmm.
you'd pay a much lower percentage in fees
Yeah.
compared to someone investing a smaller amount.
Right, so it really incentivizes those larger investments.
It does.
Okay, and what about security? We talked about it with OneGold. Is BullionVault just as secure?
Oh, absolutely. They take security very seriously.
Okay.
Their storage facilities are incredibly secure.
Yeah.
They've got multiple layers of protection in place.
Like what?
Everything from CCTV surveillance
Okay.
to motion detectors,
Wow.
247 on-site guards.
Sounds like Fort Knox over there.
It's pretty intense.
But are there any downsides? Everything can't be perfect, right?
Well, bank transfer fees can sometimes be a bit of a pain.
Yes, those pesky fees.
So it's always a good idea to check with your bank first.
Yeah, avoid any surprises.
Exactly. And although their platform is designed to be simple,
Yeah.
there's still a bit of a learning curve involved, as with anything new.
Of course, you got to get familiar with the tools.
Right.
And I guess some of their more advanced features,
Yeah.
like choosing specific vault locations, might come at an extra cost.
They might.
So if you want all the bells and whistles, you might have to shell out a bit more.
Potentially.
Okay, but it sounds like both platforms, whether it's OneGold or BullionVault, have great customer support teams.
They do.
So if I have questions, I can always reach out for help.
Absolutely. They're there to support you.
So it's like having a guide in this sometimes confusing world of investing.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
OneGold, BullionVault, two very different platforms,
Yeah.
but both offering incredible opportunities to invest in precious metals.
It's really exciting to see how accessible they've made it for people
It is.
to diversify their portfolios.
Yeah.
And potentially benefit from, the stability of gold, silver, platinum, even palladium.
I think it's safe to say that no matter which platform you choose, you're making a smart move by exploring the world of precious metals.
Absolutely.
They've been a haven for investors for centuries.
Essentially.
And with platforms like OneGold and BullionVault,
Yeah.
it's easier than ever to make them a part of your portfolio.
It really is.
So as you're weighing your options, and I know it can be a tough decision, I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
If you could build your own personal treasure vault,
Ooh, I like this.
what would your ideal mix of gold, silver, and platinum be?
That is a great question.
It really gets you thinking about your investment goals and how precious metals can play a role in achieving them.
It does.
And hey, maybe throw a little palladium in there for good measure.
Why not? Right.
Exactly. The world of precious metals is full of possibilities.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into OneGold and BullionVault.
It was a pleasure.
We hope you learned a lot and are feeling more confident about navigating the exciting world of precious metal investing.
Until next time.
Happy investing, everyone.